as always, appreciate everybody coming. Hope that you had a wonderful weekend. We're in for a treat here. I was able to interview Jesse. He couldn't make it. Something came up here this morning, so I interviewed him Thursday afternoon. It's
Sure.
only 38 minutes long. Very impressive. This guy's extremely sharp, but had some unique tidbits that I have not heard. So I'm eager for everybody to get your pen and pads out, take some good notes. But I want to do a couple plugs real quick. Man, if you are not registered for EXPCON, that's coming up in October, I think it's 7th, 8th, 9th. Am I
Correct.
correct? Yeah,
Yep.
7th, 8th, 9th. Get yourself there, especially some of you, if you've never been to EXPCON, man, it is run like a well-oiled machine. I come from a direct sales background where we put on some of the best events I'd ever seen. This is right up there now. These last couple years that I've gone, who in here is going to EXPCon? Let me see a show of hands. All right, we got Deb. Anybody
Kathy
else?
is. Kathy's going.
Yeah, Kathy's going. Jennifer, Tricia, none of you guys are registered for EXPCon?
I'm going.
Okay, fantastic. Yeah, if you can make it, you guys, I'm telling you, it's not only, I always say, not only can you walk out of there, if you make it a goal for the 3 days you're there, go meet yourself 8 to 10 agents that you have not met every day, exchange numbers and stuff. You're probably going to find some good referral partners that may get you a deal or two in the next 12 months. But if you've not seen how these events are run, you'll get a list of the agenda, right? There'll be the general session where you'll go hear from Leo and the different people from corporate. But other than that, there'll be breakout sessions where there might be 6, 8, 10 of them going on at one time. And you can choose in advance, man, I want to go to this one. This is exactly what I need. Anyway, you walk out of there, not only obviously extremely motivated, inspired, and realize you're at the right place, but you'll get the exact training you're looking for. It'll all be available in those 3 days. Anyway, it is a phenomenal. I've never missed an EXPCon. Go ahead, Danelle.
Where do we go online to look at the info? And is there a
Kelly?
host hotel?
Yeah. Yep. We got a host hotel, all that stuff. And if that one's full, they always have a secondary overflow hotel. She'll put
Mhm.
that in the chat. Kelly
Yeah.
will.
I'll find it.
Yeah. So why don't we do this? I'm going to kick this off. I've got a video to play, right? I interviewed him on Thursday. So let me share my screen.
Oh, I do a live, it's just like a 5-day YouTube challenge. We do them every month
Okay.
for the real estate industry. And yeah, we always sell like 150, 200 tickets typically. And
Nice.
I do it all virtually. And yeah, that's pretty good.
And are those all from outside of EXP?
Yeah,
Or is
no,
that
yeah, it's a brokerage agnostic.
wow? So I'm already starting to see how you're attracting.
Yeah, so basically the way it works is like I use my coaching program as like my front end offer, or so our challenge is our front end offer. People pay us a lot of money to work with us. And then my back end offer at the end is like they can stay in my program as like an alumni member if they do 3 12-week sprints with us over the
Yeah,
course of history. As soon as they
yeah.
hit that, and that's it's about 30 grand for 3 12-week sprints. Once they do that,
Wow.
they can pay us
Okay.
1,000 a month to stay in our group calls. But then I always like recruit them on the backside. So that's like my long-term value.
Got you.
Because
Well, hey,
revenue
real
share to me is worth like, it's like between 800 and 2,500 an agent per year. But with coaching, it's like my average client stays in for about 16 grand.
we appreciate you, brother. Why don't I start off just so everybody knows a little bit more about this young man who's
Mhm.
ultra successful? Listen to this real quick. Jesse is a 7-time EXP icon agent who has built his real estate business almost entirely through organic YouTube content. His channels have generated nearly $500 million in residential real estate sales without relying on cold calling, buying leads, or chasing business. After developing that system in his own business, Jesse co-founded Channel Junkies, where him and his team have now coached thousands of real estate agents on how to turn YouTube into a predictable source of clients and closings. Today, Channel Junkies works with many of the highest producing YouTube agents and teams across the globe, giving Jesse a unique look at what's actually working across hundreds of real estate channels, not just what worked on his own. His philosophy is simple. We sell homes, not views and subscribers. When you optimize for the audience, revenue will follow. All right, brother. Well, first of all, congrats on all your success. That's an awesome little bio right there. So you're chasing Elizabeth Riley. You're chasing some of the top ones there at 9 and 10 icons. So you've iconed every year you've been here.
Yep. Yeah, I just hit the 7th. Actually, I just got notified. It happened in June. So
Yeah.
they're a little delayed on the notification. But yeah, I always tell like Elizabeth just got the decade one. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I will get it. And I've done it all through referral too. And before
Wow.
EXP changed their policy, when they used to give the transactional fee, you only
Yeah.
paid the transactional fee based on the percentage. I was incentivized to refer my deals outside of EXP because I got 250. So I had to do 80 transactions at a 25% referral, which I still did because we were
Yeah.
doing about
Yeah.
190 deals. But the I was like very adamant with like trying to get that changed as well.
Yeah.
Because I was like, this is dumb. Like you're incentivizing us to go outside the company. So when they changed that, I did it way faster. And actually, when we hit the peak of the stock market, it
Yeah.
sucked because I literally hit my icon when it was like at the peak. And then 2 months later, I hit the icon again when it was like just coming down. So I hit icon at the very top. And I'm just like, all right, but now I just hit it again when it's at the all-time low. So now I'm like, come on, baby, let's go.
I love it. I love it. Yeah, it was so interesting. I was on the Legacy 500 Zoom earlier. Or do you get on that? Are you on
Yeah,
that yet?
I'm heavily involved with all that. I go to all the top 250s because it's
Okay.
our challenge week. I didn't make it this week, but I'm always there.
So he mentioned, and you may know this, Leo mentioned, everybody was talking about what is a normal market, and he was kind of putting quotes. A normal market usually in the last couple of decades has been about 6 million transactions in a year. The
Yeah.
last 3 years, and this year also, we're trending 4.2 million. So
Yeah, but
just to
this is
give an
the new
idea,
norm.
and you're getting more and more majority of that real estate is being taken by top performers and less
Yep.
and less. We just got more and more leaving the industry altogether. So we're kind of weeding out those that are just struggling. So if you're looking at this today, you guys, obviously I'm going to ask him right now, Jesse. We would love to have you in the next couple months, whenever it's convenient. On Tuesdays, we bring on icon agents and have them train on something you're really good at, which is probably a lot of things. But we'd love
Yeah.
to have you on a Tuesday morning to come in and train one point in time. I'll have my other business partners reach out to you, and if it's convenient in the next few months, that'd be
Yeah,
awesome.
I'd love to do
But
it.
this is all about rev share. So why don't we jump into this? Give everybody a little idea of how long have you been in real estate up to the point of when EXP found you or you found EXP, and how did that happen, and what were the main reasons you came on board?
Yes. So I got into real estate in 17. I built my whole business on cold calling, for sale by owners and open houses. I was sold the dream like everyone else. Come to my brokerage. We sell the most. We'll give you the most leads, blah, 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 blah. I didn't have time to wait for that. So I saw this guy in my office that sold like 300 homes a year, and he was nothing but a listing machine. I said, "What's the secret?" He said, "You got to find the lead that's the hottest." He goes, someone has a for sale sign in their house, for sale by owner. Someone's actively shopping, open house. I said, perfect. So I came from the brewing industry actually, and I worked for Gallo Winery and Boston Beer. It's the top two training organizations in the world for beverage distribution. I was
Mhm.
in the corporate side. And so I had a lot of background in sales training. So I heard all these guys making cold calls, and I just thought they were like combating every single for sale by owner, and like same with open houses. And I was like, I'm like, that's not the way that people like really want to be sold to. So I wrote all my own scripts and it worked great. I ended up making almost 500K my first year, and I made almost 500K my second year, but it was burning me out. So that's like what's got me into like YouTube for real estate. And actually, it wasn't just YouTube at the time, it was everything video, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, not so much video there, but Twitter, all of this stuff. And YouTube through the process, and I won't bore you with the story, but through that, it got me a lot of exposure into the real estate space. A lot of people started following me. A lot of people in my own market started trying to recruit me to EXP. And the first experience I had with EXP, it was the worst experience that you could ever do to somebody. It was basically like selling a timeshare or like life insurance. This guy asked me to lunch. He was another creative guy, and we started chatting, and then he breaks out this folder and does this whole, life insurance bait and switch on me. But it was EXP. And my broker at the time was just shit talking EXP up and down. And I was just like, I had my wall up so bad about EXP that I was
Yeah.
only focused on selling real estate. So any other messaging from someone I didn't really know, I wasn't
Yeah.
having it, right? And Jim Rome has the best saying ever about like building value. It's like if you want to have success, stop asking what you can get and focus on what you can give. If you give more value than anyone else in the marketplace, you'll dominate the marketplace. So
Yeah.
I've always came from this like point of like give so much value that like people can't ignore you. And so like if you're watching this and you see my brand and my content and my ads all over social, it's like I'm just pouring into the industry. So what happened was I at Boston Beer, they prefaced a lot of us to focus on corporate chain accounts because they could activate distribution really quickly. So like 7-Eleven's a franchise. Walmart's is a one owner corporation. If
Yeah.
Walmart says it's going into 5,000 stores, it's going in overnight. If 7-Eleven activates your product, you have to go out and hand sell it to every franchise and you'll get like 3% distribution.
Hmm.
So I knew being at Boston, we had in Gallo, we had one training platform. Everyone had to go through it. We spoke one language. We all got the same thing. So when my business was starting to grow and I started getting agents asking me to work with me all around the country, I was at
Mhm.
Next Home actually, which is funny that Next Home is here now.
Yeah.
So they said, if you want to work with an agent in Colorado, you got to own the franchise here, you got to own the franchise there, you're going to have the managing broker. The
Hmm.
expansion model was broken. I went to, so then I'm like, okay, I'm generating all these inbound leads and I needed an expansion model. So I went back to the drawing board. I'm like, I interview Remax, Keller Williams. And when I first started, I interviewed 50, I think I interviewed 60 brokers to like figure out who I wanted to work with. And so I'm like, I'm gonna go back through the same process when I'm now looking for this expansion model. So I do the Remax Keller Williams. And I'm literally, after I hear the same pitch for the 15th time, I'm just like, what is going on here? Like something's broken. I go to my phone in the parking lot after I met with Remax, and I'm Googling what does Keller Williams, Remax, and all these brands have in common because I'm so new into real estate. It's like they're
Mhm.
all a franchise. I'm like, shoot, they're franchise, they're broken. This is 7-Eleven. I'm like, what's a one brokerage owned platform good for expansion? Freaking EXP pops up there. And I was like, oh my gosh, the light bulb went off in my head. And so
Hmm.
so my coach at the time was at EXP and he always said, hey, I'm not going to hard sell you on this, but if you ever want to take a look, I want to be the one that shows it to you. I literally call him on the phone and he's like, he goes, I said, I'm ready to take a look at EXP. He sets up this meeting with Sam Rodriguez and him. This is back in the day,
I remember
2019.
saying. Oh yeah.
I meet with them for 3 hours, dude. We literally went through everything. They showed me the CRM, KV Core then. They showed me the world. They showed me the trainings. They literally opened the playbook. Not one other brokerage did this, by the way. I would ask them to see their CRM, their quote unquote best technology that no one else has. No one ever showed it to me. So
Hmm.
then I get on the call, I go through this, dude, and my world was just blown apart. I was like, oh my gosh. I called my business partner, dude, we're moving brokerages and you're never going to believe where we're going. He's like, not EXP. I'm like, that's exactly where we're going. I come to
I love it.
EXP. I come to EXP. I didn't even care about revenue share, dude.
Okay.
I and of course I'm like everyone's hitting me up. Why are you going to EXP? Why are you going to EXP? I'm like, I don't know. I said this is why. And then actually I'd called a couple people that had called me during this process just to ask them like, what do you think of EXP? I said, I'm coming. Like they'd be excited to know I'm joining someone else.
Yeah.
Um, they told me what they like, why they liked it, all the things. I
Yeah.
come to EXP and then this agent, a couple of them follow me and I brought my team when we had 30 active pendings. That was really fun. And we had listings, all the things.
Yeah.
That ended up being a real fun ordeal. And so, like, I know what it's like ripping the band-aid off.
Hmm.
And we just had to do it, right? I was the first one over. We left an agent back, closed those deals. Some of them were new construction. The broker released the files that were like 6 months out. It ended up being fine. The I come in, another agent joins me, and I must have like this agent must have closed the deal right at the cutoff time for the revenue share because
Yeah.
all of a sudden I got this check for $750. Like, and I was like, where the hell did this come from? And this is like an overage payment. Like, what's the deal? So I go
Yeah.
into the EXP world, I've talked to accounting. I'm like, what's this check for 750? They're like, oh, this agent closed the deal in your downline. And I'm like, hold on, one deal. They closed one deal and I got a check for 750. And they're like, yeah, that's like revenue share. And I was like, I came from Keller Williams, where in our office they touted 60 grand for the whole year of profit share. So I'm
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
75, I'm like $750 times 100. I'm like, this is like easy money. And that's just 1 month. And I'm like,
Yeah.
okay, I call my business partner. I said, we're focused on the wrong thing. We need to focus on recruiting. I go,
Mhm.
just like I recruit homeowners to buy houses. I'm going to
Yeah.
recruit agents to come work with us at EXP. And I said, I'm going to do it all through YouTube organic. So YouTube, EXP at the time was being searched like crazy. They had no social YouTube presence, or if they did, it was just all about crap that no one was looking up. So I just
Yeah.
started making videos all about EXP. Top reasons agents are going to EXP, why agents are leaving EXP, what is the best agent to go to EXP, 5 reasons I love EXP, 5 reasons you should look at EXP, how EXP can accelerate your business, like what does the cloud world mean to real estate agents, how the cloud world's revolutionizing real estate. Everything was EXP. And I would literally open it up the same way. I'd say, so you're an agent thinking about moving real estate brokerages. Well, in this video, I'm going to talk about the 3 reasons why agents are leaving their brokerages in droves to join this new cloud-based model called EXP Realty. And I just told them exactly what they were getting.
Yeah.
All of a sudden, the phone starts ringing like crazy. Boom, boom, boom. It was like recruiting on clockwork. And like in the first year, I ended up recruiting like 200 agents through YouTube. And it sounds
What?
great. Yeah, it sounds great. But the reality is like a lot of these agents were like looking for me to like give them a magic pill, like through
Yeah.
social media. So I was recruiting on the front side with my YouTube channel, but I was also out talking with big teams and independent agents and independent brokerages about EXP as well. And
Yeah.
these are all people in my environment. And so all I would say is I would just like send them a quick DM and I would just say, "Hey, dude, I've never tried to sell you anything in my life, and I've never recruited you. And if you think I'm crazy, you can delete this message, but let's please still be friends after this." However, I came from this point of view where I didn't want to hear anything about EXP. And what I realize now is I should have known what I was saying no to before I said no, because now I feel like an idiot and I feel like I missed the greatest opportunity of my life. And if I had started this 2 years ago, I would be in a whole different position, not even from a recruiting stance, but from a business real estate stance. And
Yeah.
at the end of the day, it's all about selling real estate. Look at our brokerage. We're the number one producing brokerage for agent count, right? Whatever the stat is you're going to throw at them. And so I'd say, look, I want to sit down with you and see how we can make this applicable to your business. And if you can see the path forward, whether it's today or tomorrow, I just want you to see it. And even if it's a hard no, I said you should still see like what the opportunities are out there. Oh my gosh, dude, this freaking worked like clockwork and I still use it to this day. I had my biggest organization team leader left in 2025, April of 25, and they took 200 agents with them. And I still replaced all of those agents and I gained an extra 100 because I said, I am not going to let one agent dictate my life to me. So I went straight to the phone. I started DMing and texting every agent like I used to. And boom, I got back up there. So when they left, I was at 400. And today I'm at 500 and I still lost 200 of those agents. And guess what happened 13 months later? They just left LPT and guess what? I've recruited back like a bunch of those agents that left, and they're
But
coming back.
what about the main guy that they followed? Did he
Oh,
come?
dude, he just left. He just left a Serhant Realty. He's actually out in your state, and so they left a Serhant. And so I'm like, okay, they sold you on this dream. You guys left with them, and now you're great leaders bouncing out of LPT because. And I'm like, dude, it's all good. I don't let any of those things distract me because I'm like, once again, I'm not going to let one agent in my freaking revenue share org dictate the way I'm going to get freaking paid.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
I built this thing. No one else is going to tear it down.
I love it. Love it. And so you started when? What year did you come over?
EXPI came here in March of 2020.
Of 2020. Okay. So wow. So you've only been here just over 6 years. So let's, for the audience that's here, they might be listening and going, okay, I don't have this big YouTube channel. I don't have some of this presence and so forth. Um, Not to put you on the spot from a coaching perspective, I can tell you're really sharp. No matter what I ask you, you're going to be able to have probably a great answer for it. Let's
Mhm.
fast forward closer to today. Here
Yeah.
we are in the last year and a half, 2 years. Obviously, it's been a wonky market. Like I was saying in the very beginning, you guys, obviously the market is normally, if there was a normal, was about 6 million transactions a year. It's now 4.2 million. So obviously sales are down. Everything Leo and everybody says is now's the time to double down. Just everything you're doing, double it and you'll come out the other end when the market does happen to hopefully pick back up, you'll skyrocket. But with all that said, today, let's take it up kind of to present. And you said you're still doing some of the same DMs and stuff today. Can you share what some of that is? And could you see an everyday average agent that's going to be watching this that maybe doesn't have a big production, doesn't have a team, maybe they do 5, 10, 15 transactions, haven't really recruited anybody, could they still use some of the same kind of verbiage and stuff you're currently using?
100%, dude. This is the problem that a lot of people have is they're comparing. Comparison can be the thief of joy, but comparison can also be the path to success. So it's like find the people that have done it the way you want to do it and get yourself in that environment. It goes back to like what I just said at the beginning was like I was back to my phones, DMing and calling people that really weren't even in my environment in the coaching space. These were just agents that I knew. You have to figure out what people want, right? If people are like, oh, I'm hitting burnout, it's because they've lost their purpose, right? They need something to reignite that fire.
Mhm.
So there's three levers here. There's we need to generate leads, we need to convert leads, and then we need to fulfill leads. So it's like, how do we bring these agents into our ecosystem? Then how do we convert the leads? And then how do we make sure their onboarding is great so they want to rinse and repeat? So I never focus on let's build this massive 1,000 agent ecosystem because they're going to do it and they're going to get burnt out because the first time they called an agent, they didn't want to hear what they had to say. So it's like
Mhm.
learn how you want to do it and make it work for your business. The other thing too that is really interesting is like the industry is down 50% in home sales versus the peak, which was like 7.2. Now we're at 3.8. That's almost a 50% hit. If you said, how do I get back to that high water mark? I'd say the very simple way is increase your activity level by double and you'll automatically make up what you lost. So the same thing goes into recruiting. You have to put in more effort to get the result that you want. So
Yeah.
the problem is in the five levels of entrepreneurship, uninformed optimism is level one, informed pessimism is level two. So you go to this like I have this exciting idea to like, oh my gosh, this is really hard. Then you hit this valley of despair, which says like either I move to informed optimism or I cycle back to level one and I'm chasing the next shiny object. Level five is success and mastery. So I try to get my people and even myself to level four as fast as possible, which is informed optimism, knowing, hey, this is just going to be difficult. Real estate agent, difficult. Recruiting, difficult. Building a business, difficult. That's why everyone doesn't do it and why even less people are more successful because they're not willing to stay in the pocket and take the hits and they want to give up and they want to chase the next thing. I
Mm.
tell this to
Good.
everyone, guys, the key to success, whether you come to work with me or not, is doing more of what's already working. You just need to do more of the thing that is working to get you the result that you want. It's not going to be, if it was that easy for everyone, they would all do it, right? It's like,
Yeah.
yes, is timing to get into EXP early an opportunity? Absolutely, it was. But here's the thing: was the opportunity bigger to bring in new people early? Yes. However, I will tell you, in 2020, every single person I talked to was like, "Get the f out of my face! This is a pyramid scheme." In 2026, you know what they all do? They all want to know why the top producing agents are here. So it's a
Hmm.
way easier sell. Then I look at Joshua Smith, Spring Benson. I'm like, how do they come over here and in 1 year they can bring on 400 or 500 agents? I can do the same thing. They don't have anything on me. All they're doing is the activity to generate the result. So if I was coaching a brand new agent into recruiting, not a brand new agent per se, but say an agent that wants to try it, let's
Yeah.
get you one, and then let's repeat that. And then let's get two, then let's get three. And my ultimate goal for every agent is let's get to 10, and then let's help you help them get to 10. That gets you 110 people in your organization. That gets you to a six-figure revenue share earning. And that's life-changing money. It doesn't take hundreds, it takes one at a time. And then you're going to recruit somebody that's going to be the next you. Out of my organization, I have like three guys that have gotten over 25 agents. Or no, now I'm at four. So, and that's built 500. So four people are really responsible for my entire org. It's like you
Yep.
just don't know who that person's going to be. I mean,
No
I
doubt.
guarantee you, when I talked to Curtis Johnson, when my sponsor brought him on the three-way, I guarantee you, Curtis was just like, dude, this kid, he even told me on the call, he goes, you have no idea what the opportunity is in front of you because you just don't know. And because he was like, dude, you were building this big world in real estate. It's just I didn't want to hear it at the time. So
Yeah.
you have to meet
Yeah.
people where they are, one at a time, lead with production first. That's my advice.
I got you. And so let me kind of throw this in. You guys hear this all the time, but I always think of Stephen Covey, begin with the end in mind. So if
Yep.
you want to attract 10 agents, whatever tactic you're going to do, if you're watching this, and we'll walk through a little bit more detail of what he's doing, if it's something you guys want to try to follow, but you guys have heard these Monday interviews, and everybody's got one or two kind of unique things they do. You need to find the one that matches you, then go backwards and go, how much of that do I need to do to get one agent? You got to keep, is it a number of calls? Is it a number of posts? Is it a number of likes? Whatever it is. So anyway, with all that said, let's go to kind of what you're doing right now, Jesse, in case somebody's listening going, okay, I like that. I could do that right there. So you're DMing and texting and stuff. You're still doing that today. Can you share that messaging? What is it that you're sending out to an agent? And again, this is somebody you know, right? You've either done a cross sell with them, or you've met them at an event, or just maybe even online.
Yeah. So I love what you just said. And like I coach one-to-one with Alex Hermosi. And actually I just had this.
Wow,
I was just down there. I'm in their executive boardroom program.
nice.
135 grand one day. 500x my business. I'll just say that. Well worth
Yeah,
it. But one
he's
thing that he
unreal.
said is he goes, we bought into $1 billion company. And he goes, we were tasked to double the sales, and it took them 10 years to get that. And he goes, we reverse engineered their entire business model. And we said, okay, how do we do this now in 12 months? It's when you're doing something again, you can do it 5 times faster than you do it the first time.
Mhm.
So what I do is I'm just like, sometimes I just get in these modes, dude, where I'm like, I need to recruit. And then that's my focus for the week. And so I'm just
Yeah.
like on my phone looking at like, who's the opportunity? Who's the opportunity? I'll be just 100% truthful with you. When I did for sale by owners and expireds,
Yeah.
I cherry picked the ones that I knew I loved because I knew I'd be more excited to sell that. So with recruiting, I look for the agents that are doing it, but could do it way better here. So I know like our platform will actually help them. I don't want
Yeah.
to just make a lateral move because now you have a lot of great success stories too. You can like post. Dude, I got people in
Mhm.
my DMs every day being like, I'm so grateful I came over here. Thank you so much. So what I do is I just like send them a voice message. I'll be like, hey bro, I know this might sound crazy, and at the end of this message, you can delete it and you can forget I ever sent it if I'm completely off base here. But I was just actually thinking about the fact that I've never even talked to you about EXP. And the reality is I wish somebody actually would have came to me like this when I first got into the business or when I first like heard of EXP. But what happened was that I was getting bombarded by all these agents that I really didn't respect or know. And why would I want to follow someone that I'm doing more business than? So what I realized is like I'm doing you a disservice by not actually showing you what this could actually look like in your business. I don't know if you've ever actually sat down and went through the playbook in a 1 hour long conversation, but I would love to walk you through what that actually looks like. And here's the thing, if that's not for you, I totally get it, but you should at least know what you're saying no to. And even if you just want to have a conversation, I've actually partnered with a couple people that I know would be a great fit for your business. And if you just want to get on a call and see why they even came over to the brokerage, I can set that up. So I literally am giving them two options. Either A, let's get on this call with these other agents that you probably know that I think are a great fit, co-sponsor. I'll take this a step further here in a second. Or I'm giving them another avenue, which is like, how can we apply this playbook to your business? I actually love independent real estate brokerage owners because number one is like, I know I can get Leo on the call, and Leo adds
Mhm.
another flavor of like expertise. And when you
Yeah.
get him on the call, it's like another situation. So I really
Mhm.
love independent brokerages. But what I did when co-sponsorship hit is I went through my entire list of agents I knew and I said, okay, here's my target, here's my target, here's my target. And then I found the top agent of influence in their market that was an alignment with their values. So a good example I
Mhm.
have is Barrett Raven in Austin, Texas. I knew him and Elizabeth Riley were like two peas in a pod. She has an office, he has an office. They're both big into Sphere, all the things.
Yeah.
So Barrett also knew an agent brokerage owner that I recruited to EXP with 60 agents last year. So I knew that they knew each other. So I'm like, I can bring this agent that I recruited as Barrett's primary sponsor, and I can make Elizabeth the co-sponsor in his market, and it can be this great harmonized relationship. I
Mhm.
get all of these guys on the call. He's like, yeah, bro. He's like, I'll do the call. He's like, I'm down. He owned a brokerage. He get on this call. I introduce everyone. Barrett's like, I go, Barrett, why don't you tell us about your story? Barrett goes, yeah, before real estate, I was a teacher at the school for dyslexia. And in fact, it's this school. Elizabeth Riley goes, oh my gosh, my son went to that school.
Yeah.
all of a sudden they come together with this background of like how they knew each other. I
Yeah.
knew within 30 seconds this was a lock.
Yeah.
Moved over to EXP in his first couple of months. He hit Icon. He's grown his profit by $20,000 a month. And that's the success story that I can then go and share with the next brokerage that I'm going to recruit. So once again, I'm just using these other elements of people to recruit agents. So I love co-sponsor. Even if an
Yeah.
agent doesn't want it, I force them into signing up with a co-sponsor because I'm like, one day you might actually want to recruit agents and you're going to wish you had this. So I identify
Mm.
the agent I think would work the best with them as a value add. So I actually leverage co-sponsors like crazy. And I'm like, I have I did a post, I'm like, I don't even need the co-sponsors. However, to me, it was an easy selling point for me to put someone else on a pedestal and not
Yeah.
look at me. Third party validation is always easier than trying to like say, look at me, look at me, look at me. I want to
Absolutely.
say, look at him, look at him, look at him. He's the shining star. Now I'm bringing you into this relationship. Everyone wants to take a look at that. So that's
Yeah.
really the way I do it.
Dude, that is, I've never heard anybody say that. And maybe some of you guys have heard that before. That was kind of a light bulb moment. I hope it is for some of you. Very interesting. Whatever market you're in or whatever market you might be calling into or trying to attract, go find a big influencer with EXP there. And that might be a great way to co-sponsor with that agent that's in that local market, probably knows that big influencer. And,
Mhm.
and then another thing to look at, you guys, if you're not a big producing agent, like I'm not, Jesse, I've told you that, but it's never about me. I always make it about Freedom Team or about somebody else, a third party. You just
Yep.
took that into the whole co-sponsorship. It's all about that other person in the local market that'll be that influencer that'll help attract that agent. That's genius, bro. Thank you. Thank you.
The biggest
Um,
objective I get is actually the physical office thing. So
yeah,
for me, I went through and identified who had the physical offices in these locations before I called the agent. So I
yeah,
already know it's M&Ming them. You're going to remove all of their objections before they ever
yeah.
happen by telling them that in your messaging.
As I'd imagine, and maybe that's not always true, but a lot of big influencers might have an office, even if they're with EXP,
Mhm.
whether it's a small local office or they're growing a team or whatever. Do you find that a lot of those influencers have teams as well?
Inside of EXP?
Yeah, yeah,
Oh, the ones that like when you say influencer, like the ones with the big organizations, yes, they all have like primary offices or
yeah.
teams or whatever it may be. Yes.
Yeah, I gotcha. So on your YouTube, for those again who might be looking at this, and everybody knows Andy Hollis in our group's got a huge YouTube following. His is all production. Andy's starting to slowly attract. What are you doing right now on your YouTube? Obviously, we can go check it out, but just
Yeah.
give a high 30,000 foot view in regards to attracting. What are some of the things you do on YouTube?
So the thing I do on YouTube, like if you went to my channel now, you'll see I haven't put out a video for a while because, well, when I say a while, it's been like a couple months because I focus more on using my coaching platform as my recruiting mechanism. So, like I was
Mm,
saying at the beginning, I have built a flywheel model. So either someone can join me at EXP and get access into our coaching, or they can go to my coaching and then join us at EXP. Well, I don't say they can. I intentionally tee them up for a recruitment opportunity to EXP. But what
yeah,
on the YouTube front, it's exactly what I just said about the co-sponsor. I started a podcast called the Co-Sponsor Podcast, and I would just every agent that I wanted to bring into my world and I wanted to leverage them to recruit, which who's not going to like you to call and say, "Hey, Jesse, I'm going to recruit agents in Boise. Can I use you as a leverage piece?" Okay, no, you can't do that. Of course. So it's kind of like what you said. You've never heard this before. So it's like some of these agents are like, "What? Like, what's your angle here?" Like they think I'm doing something weird. I'm like,
yeah,
no, I just understand sales psychology, and I understand I can like put you up on a pedestal, especially like women. I'm like, hey, girls with grit's a great option. Hey, you want a sphere-based business in Austin? Hey, Elizabeth Riley's a great option. Hey, you're in Utah and EXP like had a bad rap for a long time, but now the number one recruiter at Real just joined EXP. Now I'm using Spring Benson as that sticking point, which I did bring over a huge agent in Salt Lake because of Spring. So
yeah,
there's all of these options. So I brought them on my podcast just to break bread, know their story, and then people watch me. They might not really be sold on me, but they might watch you and say, "Hey, I'm willing to like reach out to Sean." And so I've actually had people hit me up and say, "Hey, I saw this person on your podcast. Can you connect me with them?" And so I'm like, "Yeah, absolutely." I do it with Tina Call a lot. Um, a lot of these top producing agents, that are actively like running production machines still, because
Yeah.
a lot of those people are in my environment. So like the other day I had a gal and she was like trying to hire an operational manager. She's in my coaching program. I said, "Why don't you connect with Tina?" So then I connect her right to Tina. I called Tina in advance. I said, "Hey, we have an opportunity here to recruit this big team owner up in I don't want to say it in case she ever watches, but
Yeah.
she
Yeah.
this is a great opportunity." So Tina invites her to her private event. She brings her in, shows her how to like fix this problem, and then boom, next thing you know, she's like, "Hey, I'm thinking about leaving KW. I'm thinking about Real or EXP." Now we just put ourselves in the position of the conversation, which was never there before. So you
Absolutely.
guys, this is what I'll say to the agents listening. We have the greatest opportunity now with co-sponsorship to actually use the people, because everyone's always like, "Oh, this organization offers this and this organization offers that." Everybody wants what they can't have. That just
Mhm.
eliminated that whole option.
Exactly.
That whole you know
Potential objection or
exactly
obstacle, whatever.
objection.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so with YouTube, that's what I do. I still get people calling me. I have a website. They can auto book an appointment, and I purposely have it set out for a few days out, because I if they'll just cancel their appointment, and then because I'd get agents to join and then they would leave really quick. And so like I have it purposely scheduled out because I want to know how bad they really want it. And it even
Mm.
says in there, if you need to meet with me sooner, text me. So sometimes agents will text me and say, "Hey, I need to move my brokerage license now. I've been watching you for 5 years." And once again, it's a pipeline game. It's not going to happen overnight. So
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, that's awesome, dude. Well, I've kept you a long time. Let's just to wrap up with one question. You've kind of answered. I'll see if you answered any different. So, again, I'm an agent looking at this. I'm going to play it Monday. We'll put it in our on our website for people to watch the recording. If somebody's looking at this for the first time, they've been looking at all these different people that have been attracting, but they're like, I just haven't done it. What advice would you give that agent? They're over here producing. Do they need to carve out a certain amount of time, a week, a day? But if you just gave them advice at all and to start their recruiting, how would you wrap it up and what would you tell them?
someone really once told me, they said, "Choose your regrets or they'll be chosen for you." So like
Mm,
we only have so much time in the day. Just know whatever you dedicate that hour to, it's going to pull an hour away from something else. So, there's like the ten spokes of life, right?
yeah.
Faith, family, work, hobbies, things like that. You dedicate where this time goes. If you start deciding to recruit, that's going to take away from something you're currently doing. So just know what's going to be the lever that you pull and what's going to be the lever that you push. Dedicate your time to it. And yes, absolutely, you need to dedicate time to it. A minimum of like 1 hour. It's the same thing of cold calling. If you need leads, you should be doing nothing but producing leads for freaking 8 hours a day. That should be
Yeah.
your number one lever. And just know that this is a long-term play. And I always
Mhm.
tell everyone, I don't want you committed for 30 days, 60 days, 90 days. I want you committed for 10 years. Because if you can't envision yourself doing this for 10 years, then you're not really committed to it anyways. And yes, can you change? Can you adjust and adapt as time comes? And should
Yeah.
you expect a result? 100%. I'm not saying sit there for 10 years and expect no results. I coach an agent on YouTube that did YouTube for 10 years and never sold a house. He's like, "I never even thought it was possible." I got him in 18 months, he's closed 35 deals and he has 7 pending. I just talked to him yesterday. I'm just saying, have your expectations and then figure out how to reverse engineer it, like you said, and then you can do it a lot quicker. But yes, absolutely dedicate time, work on your craft, find the system that works for you. The system that works for me is probably going to be different than what works for you. Just know the first agent you call is probably going to tell you to get lost, pack sand, all the things, but it's just like spur business. Bring them into your world, give them value. Have no
Mhm.
expectation of conversion on the first call. It takes 10 calls to sell somebody something. Why wouldn't it take you 10 calls to recruit someone? So add value, have no expectation, and just stay in the pocket long enough to see the results.
That's awesome. Jesse, you rock, man. Thank you. Thank you, dude. A lot of great content and some unique stuff I haven't heard. So, man, sincerely appreciate it. So we got a little time for a little Q&A, maybe to chat about what you just saw today. Anybody have any feedback on today's interview?
What a powerhouse. He is. I've seen a lot of his videos over time. Uh, love his approach, love his consistency, his drive.
Yeah. Interesting, the whole DM, just leave a voicemail and just being very candid about why he's calling. I don't know if you even know that I've been over at EXP here for a while, You know, and I all I know is when I look back, when I wish somebody would have reached out to me this way. I'm not trying to get you to switch brokerages, but you definitely need to understand what you might be saying no to. I'd love to be the one. Just an interesting approach, just being very direct about it. You leave 10 voicemails like that, but if one person responds, they're intrigued, they're interested, they're willing to be see it. So with that said, hold on, we got a whose hand's being raised? That's mine.
Yours and
Um,
Danelle's.
so let's get over to what if no, anybody have anything else about what you just saw there? Otherwise, I'm going to kind of switch gears. Anybody got to
Yeah,
respond?
I have a
Yeah.
question. He's located in Texas, Austin, Texas.
Uh, where was no? That was just he was talking about somebody he recruited when he connected with Elizabeth Riley. I do not recall
What's his
where.
base?
What's
Okay.
that? You could probably just pull him up real quick, Google
How
him.
many people? Yeah, I'll do that. And what's his last name?
Dau. I don't know if it's Dow. Jesse Dau Dow. You can research him. It sounds like he's got a huge social media presence, big on YouTube, doing a lot of attracting and so forth there. Yeah, he's sharp, man. Some of these guys are just so
Yeah,
sharp. But I love what he said. It's just
gracious.
consistency, playing the long-term game, right? I'm going to be here the next 10 years. What if I literally all I did was put in 30 minutes a day toward recruiting? But you did it every day consistently. You're going to learn, you're going to adapt, you're going to adjust. Maybe you're going to see somebody on a Monday, you're going to maybe shift and go, man, I like that. But whatever it is you're going to do, same thing with your when you're out selling real estate, looking for buyers and sellers. You got to find those two or three things that you're going to do to get into more conversations and stick with it for at least 6 months. I see a year. Well, this you guys keep hearing provide value, provide value. So every time I connect with an agent, whether they're moving forward or not, I try to find out what their pain point is. What are the one or two areas that you feel like you could be better at or learn more about? I'll say, hey, would you be open if I sent you over some trainings that we've done that are specifically around what you just told me? Yeah, no, send them on over. Hey, and if we have another training coming up, because we do them every single week, you'd be okay if I just invited you and come in, turn your camera off, and be a fly on the wall? I'm always getting their permission to provide value. And all of them say yes. And then I've now got them all. I'm just got them on drip campaigns. I'm playing the long game, right? Like everybody's talking about. But more questions around Jesse here before we switch gears.
Danelle, did you have a question? Go ahead.
Yeah, I did. About 25 minutes into it, you said that something was genius, and I kind of missed what he was saying. Was it about having like, um, whenever he was like a small organization to get someone that was more successful on the phone? I kind of missed what he said, and you said, "Man, I never heard that. That's
Yeah.
genius."
So what I semi heard it, but I think he just really connected with me. And we could do this as a group and see if we could put it up on our website. You can take every major city. Let's just start off with the big cities and stuff, or even the city you're in, or if there's a city you would like to potentially attract to. What
Yeah.
he's doing is he's finding the most influential EXP agents in that area. So find
Oh,
maybe the top two or three, because generally, whoever the top EXP producer is in that city, most agents in that local market probably know who that is, right? Because they're the top agent. And so you can reach out to that agent. He does a podcast with them, but you could reach out and say, "Hey, I've got some agents I know in this particular area. I wanted to call because I've seen what you're doing at EXP. First of all, congrats. Would you be okay if I were to co-sponsor with some of the agents I know locally?" It's like he joked around going, what are they going to say? Absolutely, they'd be open to it. So now you're calling agents in that local market, knowing that you've got somebody there who's a huge producer that that agent would probably, if anything, look up to, but would probably love to learn from, and potentially co-sponsorship would be a easy opening to get that agent on a call or a Zoom with them, with somebody in local presence that's a big producer. That was just the eye opening for me. And it made me think, Kelly, Kathy, that as we go over the next 6 months, we need to maybe come up with a list going, okay, in Charlotte, here's your top two EXP agents. One's a big YouTube guru, one's a big just whatever it might be. But we could put that on our website so each of us, if we come across an agent we meet, there'd be an area on our website. You can go bloop, pull it up and go, hey, here's the top two or three EXP agents in that area. This might be a great co-sponsor opportunity. So it takes the weight off of you being the one who's answering the questions, edify that third party that's local, and connect them with them. That was the aha moment for me. We
Makes
just
so much
haven't taken that.
sense.
Yeah.
Especially if you're like me and you're brand new to the whole thing.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
Any other questions about Jesse, what we just saw? Okay, let's switch gears. And Kelly, has it been talked about everything about coming up September 1st for everybody
Yes.
to
Yes.
Yep.
So everybody knows, if you don't know, starting September 1st, we're going to be doing a EXP opportunity presentation once a week. Jeff Morrell, if you guys have not seen Jeff do a presentation, not only you guys know this, extremely likable. He's got a presence about him, right? He's very sincere, I love his approach. Well, he's going to do the presentation on September 1st. This Thursday, Eric Golden has come up with our script, or multiple scripts that we can use to invite agents to September 1st. So for all of you right now who are looking to attract, please come to this Thursday if you can. Eric and Kelly are going to break down the different scripts that Eric's come up with, whether you know the agent, whether you don't know them, and you just simply follow that script and you're inviting people to September 1st. Regardless of whether you get somebody to come between now and then, come to September 1st, because I think when you see what Jeff and the teams put together, the value proposition that they've taken the time, Jeff, Eric, Kelly, several of you guys, thank you for putting the time into it. The value proposition is strong. It's EXP from a high level, along with Freedom Team and what the offering is. Come on September 1st, and I think you'll see a presentation that you'll feel in your heart going, oh my gosh, if other agents could see what I just saw in the first, it might give you that little burning desire to go, you know what? I just know that if I could get an agent on there, the light bulb's probably going to go off. It's that powerful. So this Thursday, please put on your agenda. You guys know, same Zoom link, same time. And Eric and Kelly are going to walk through the invite script and everything that it takes to get somebody there on September 1st. We're going to continue to tweak it. Probably the first 3 or 4 presentations, we'll get feedback from you guys as well, and we may tweak it. We just want to make that so powerful, that value proposition, that it's pretty hard for an agent to not have interest and want to ask questions. Anything you could add to that, Kelly, Kathy?
It'll be just another tool in your quiver, another way to attract. Very powerful. Highly recommend going. Now, I won't be there and Deb won't be there. We're going to be at the Build conference that's in Denver this week, and I still want to promote to that one. Anyone looking for something that could help them truly escalate their agent attraction. Leo, Girls with Grit, Levi Lassick, Nick Krim, powerhouse lineup of people speaking Thursday and Friday.
Yeah, and I will be there as well. So I won't be on Thursday. Kelly and I are both going to be in Denver. But definitely go there. Obviously, it'll be recorded. And that is literally, okay, that's next Tuesday. Yeah. So the first Freedom Team Explained, it's going to be at 11 a.m. Mountain Time, 1 p.m. Eastern, on the same Freedom Team Zoom link we're on right now. And Jeff's going to do the first presentation live. Questions about that at all? Anybody?
Hey, Sean, are we gonna put Jesse Zagorski's text options also? We should put that all with the same scripting so that we have his scripting, his texting,
Yeah.
as well as
And I just texted yesterday. He is going to be done with, so he's redoing, if everybody remembers, if you were on there, we played Russ Logan had the 10-minute presentation talking about the 5 different what do you call them, stages in which an agent is in.
Yeah.
Well, pretty good, but didn't have some of the detail, really talking about some of the things that we provide here, like the fast attract and so forth. So he is redoing the video. He just texted me yesterday. He and I have been going back and forth because I'm going to bring it to you guys once I have it. Jesse Zagorski. I'm giving my editor changes on the first draft today and should have a version I can share with you by next week. I'll send it to you and would love to get your feedback. So he'll have it ready next week. So it'll be that little 3-minute video, that little 3.5-minute teaser for those that were there, that whole texting system. And now he's put together another video that's going to be, I think, a lot more powerful. That 9 or 10 minute video when they're like, yeah, I do want to see it. We're going to be able to send over Jesse. So should have it hopefully by next week to share with you guys.
Yay, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Yeah, he was powerful too. And then I think, maybe if you get people like with Jesse's Zagorski's text system, get people intrigued with the 3 minute and the 10 minute,
Yeah.
and then push them to the full out, well, probably 35, 40 minute live presentation. And we'll be on there all the leaders going to be on there to answer questions, right, to anybody that's on there. So
Yeah.
it will be a good multi-way to get people in front little by little, right? Or
Yeah.
move them through a path,
Yeah.
or just invite them straight to the live one on the first and beyond. We're going to do them every week. So
Yeah.
you'll have opportunity just to, continue inviting to that.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a good idea. Yeah, to know.
I can't remember if it was Jeff or Eric, but they were talking about like whenever you start a call with, an agent or a broker, is to say something like, my role is to introduce you to whoever.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
maybe won't start asking us a ton of questions
Yeah.
when we
Yeah.
call.
Take it away from the I and so forth. I work with a group of leaders. Matter of fact, we go over about 130 years experience, massively successful. And we've come up with a lot of unique ways to get you in front of more buyer and sellers. Whatever that is, you're taking it off of you and put it onto a third party or a third person. And so that texting info is the same thing. You're using somebody else to see if they're open and interested. And
Yeah.
I like that approach because if you're, we always joke around about the 800-pound gorilla. Picking up that phone to make a phone call sometimes is hard to do. But if your whole goal right now, if you haven't been doing it, grow your list, grow your list, grow your list. Every agent you could ever come up with, you've ever crossed paths with, even if you connected with somebody on social media, get a very large list. And if the texting system takes away that little bit of fear to
Yeah.
see if they're open. Well, if, like he said, if you send out 10 texts a day, you get two people to respond to watch the 3.5 minute. One person wants the 9 minute or 10 minute, you send it over. And then, like Kathy said, either get them on a third party call with one of us or a Zoom, or drive them to the Tuesday EXP. And then we're going to be on there to answer questions on the back end where they realize it's not so much you just put them through a system. What I like
Yeah.
about that is it's duplicatable. You want that agent, if they see the process, if they give some thought going, okay, Danelle shot me a text. I was open to check it out. I watched it. Then I saw this other 10-minute video, definitely caught my interest. And then she steered me to a larger, they're going, I could do that. If you get to them,
Yes.
yeah, then it becomes duplicatable, which is what we're all looking for, a system that's duplicatable. So, yeah, I think it could all be very powerful.
So the 10 text system was the other Jesse, right?
Yeah, Jesse Zagorski. Yeah, and I
Okay.
gave all those links in there. Hopefully, you guys all
Okay.
grabbed them. But like I said, Jesse's redoing the video that was done by Russ Logan. He's just
Okay.
making it more where he's going to talk about some of the specific things that we do to help people grow their production. Be a little bit more specific, but from there, it could be just a third party call with one of us,
Right.
or if you'd like to meet the Freedom Team and everybody who'll be here to support you, come this Tuesday, and there'll be that 30-minute presentation, and there'll generally be 2 or 3, if not more, of us on there to do Q&A on the back end. And once we're done with that, I bet we'll be jumping on a 3-way call with any intrigued agents. Okay. Yeah. Leanne, go ahead, dear.
Hey, I've got a question about EXPCON. Is that okay to ask here?
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Or, somebody had mentioned something about getting a group of rooms together for the Freedom Team. I don't know if it was,
You mean like a block of rooms at a hotel?
yeah.
Uh,
Do you
yeah.
know?
I've not heard anything about that. Now, did I hear just somebody mention the hotel, the main hotel is already sold out? Did I hear that?
We heard that Friday.
Okay, it was on Friday. Did they have, because I booked everything probably over a month ago. Do they reference an overflow hotel? There's 1 or 2 other hotels to book or no? Just got
I
to
don't
find the
know.
one closest. Yeah. Yeah, Leanne, not that I'm aware of. We don't have any kind of block
Listed.
of rooms or anything. The company had a block of rooms that were at the original hotel,
Mhm.
but it sounds like those have been sold out. But usually wherever they do it, there's hotels all around,
Yeah.
usually within a half mile, if not closer.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Airbnbs.
Yeah,
Airbnb. I love Airbnb.
that's
Yeah.
another option. A group of you could get together right now. That's a good option
Yeah.
right there, Danelle, where maybe get three,
Get a
4, 5
house.
of you all to go in, and maybe it's a lot less expensive that way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is anybody going and needing a roommate or to do that with that's on here?
Yeah.
Mm.
Anybody?
Okay.
Got it? Yeah, I'm at the main hotel.
Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
But put that on the Freedom Team website, Leanne, and ask there.
Okay. That's a good idea.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank
All
you.
right. Any other questions about
know.
anything? If you weren't on the last 2 Tuesdays about the listings, has everybody been on the last 2 weeks? Unbelievable. I'm getting ready to send out to my entire front line. And I've even heard Tim, Jeff, several people go, wow, these last 2 Tuesdays have been extremely powerful. All right, John Sy, and then the other lady was Sandy something. I haven't seen hers,
Sandy
but
Payne.
Sandy Payne.
She was
Both
amazing.
of extremely powerful to go implement some of what they're teaching. And shoot, John gave us all those scripts that John gave us just this past Tuesday. Very powerful. If you haven't seen that, I'd imagine though the links will be on there if they're not already on our Freedom Team Support.com website. But definitely highly recommend go check those out if you haven't. Extremely powerful. Real quick, Kathy, who's tomorrow?
Give me 30
Maybe, here,
seconds. I was looking.
the 25th.
Got
Turn
it.
your YouTube into your #1 buyer lead source with
Oh,
Allie
Allie Guzard.
Yes.
So we just talked with Jesse about YouTube. So now come learn about how to do that from the transactional side. Yeah.
Yeah. And I'll give a plug for Allie because I interviewed her about, I don't know, maybe 2 months ago on the attraction side. If you haven't heard that interview, doesn't even live in the United States. She's overseas traveling. She's had Icon 3 years in a row. I want to say it was Tucson, Arizona's her area. She's not in Tucson. She has other services she's hooked up to that share the homes and all that kind of stuff. She's hitting Icon while she's overseas, and over 50% of her, trying to remember how many agents she had, like 158 or something. Over half of her agents that have joined her, she had never spoken to. They watch her YouTube videos. She has a way for them to join. They joined over 50% of her 150 that joined her are all coming through YouTube. And she doesn't even live in the United States, you guy. And here she is hitting Icon in Tucson. Interesting, sharp lady. She does, I think she said every other week she does a 6 to 8 minute video. And then she just splices that out through the month. But she's got them going for, she's got 2 YouTube channels, right? Production and attraction. So when you come tomorrow to check her out, we'll get her YouTube channels and stuff. Go look at what she's doing because what she's doing is pretty incredible to think she can sell houses and attract, and she's not even in the US, and yet all that's taking place in the United States. She's traveling the world having fun while she's building everything. So pretty incredible. I think what the people we've had on board and what they're teaching us, we just need to go implement whatever it is you see that you like, implement it and just stay the course. Stay the course. We're all playing the long game. All right. All right, you guys. Thank you so much for showing up as always. Appreciate you. We'll see everybody tomorrow morning. All right. Have a blessed day, gang.